Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today, I thought I'd do something a little different. Kind of give you some insight on the type of work that we do and why I decided to start a tool channel. And once I get a little further along, I'd like to get into all the real tools that we kind of do some reviews and on that type of stuff, mostly in metalwork and welding. But this view is actually, we're about 190 feet up on top of a new feed mill, part of the divisions that we're installing. And we do stuff like install the conveyor lines. On this particular one, the bridge was not in our contract. We'll get down a little later, but we have put them in other places in the past. So like I said, we're up about 190 feet here. And we're going to be pinning it over. You're going to be able to see the top of the silos. These are the concrete elevator silos that you sometimes will see out in farm country. And that, I don't remember what the actual height there is. I think it's 110, but I can't remember. Maybe it's 120 up to the tops of the silos there. And you can see the new rail line being put in. Now, these are elevator legs. This is what's going to bring the grain to the top of the feed mill. And a lot of that we're looking at there is dust collectors. So we install a lot of that type of equipment. And we're going to be painting over here. You'll see some more legs. I think on this particular division, or on this job, there was a total of 7 or 8 different elevator legs that went in. Well, now we're on the opposite side of that same bridge. Now we're standing over the feed mill and looking over. And my guys are actually below the silo there, or above the silos and below the turnhead on the other end of that bridge, installing new spouting. So we're going to pan around here. Now the buildings that you're going to see over here on the left that are getting put in right now, we usually don't mess with those or don't even bother to bid them, because the competition to install buildings like that is just so high. It's just really not even worth our time. Usually they give those to local contractors, because on this particular site, we're about 12 hours from home right here. So we kind of travel all over, and a little later I'm going to show you we went to Florida to install some equipment on a blast room, an old blast room facility. So we also do industrial paint booths and industrial media blast rooms as well. Now this is looking down the mill itself, and you can see there's still stuff going on here. We got those explosion panels that had to be put in yet there. And now we're panning around just the job site and kind of get an idea how far up we are by the look of the trucks there. Now those 2 legs and the tanks and everything down there right in the middle of the screen right now, we actually installed all that. That goes down to hammer mills, which actually crush the grain to process it. And my guys are installing those spouts that you see right there from the top, below the bridge down to the silos. A friend of mine is doing this division, and this is just screw conveyors that are doing transfer of the grain between different places in the feed mill to process it. Here we did all this. The painters are actually in there painting everything now, but so the hoppers, the sub hoppers, the large mezzanine that you see below us as well, including the spouting, this is actually in the loadout bay. So this is where the trucks are going to be going through to the semis to be loaded up with the feed once it's processed. And I wish I'd got a little further shot back there, a little further back to show you that. Now this is the dust collector that we are taking, or actually we're not taking it out, we're just disconnecting it because they didn't contract us to remove it. So we're just taking out the portion of the duct, and you can see it's in pretty bad shape there. The portion that we need to get loose in order to put the new collector in. Now over here on the left, that is the new Camfield Fall collector that we're putting in, or that we put in, and then this is the duct run that we're installing, and my guys are installing the support for the duct run right now, and we're just reconnecting it to the old room. And that little collector will actually do about 10 times what that big monstrosity ancient thing did. We also do air lines. We had to hook air up to this one, so we do a lot of other stuff in between, not just not just basic stuff, not just equipment. So we do we're doing some of the mechanical work here, and then we also do painting. After we've installed equipment, we'll clean it all up and paint it. But at any rate, I wanted to give you a little bit of an insight in the type of work I do and where my experience base comes from when I'm talking about tools. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little video tour, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.